Richard Nixon, what do you think of? Watergate, you think of a lot of perhaps negative things. Some of you might think of positive things, but listen to this. I am blown away. It's old, but it is so invaluable in the current discussion of what's going on in Israel and a perspective that is fresh, even though it's 50 years old. Listen in. And on the flip side, I'll share.
You make the observation in your book, and you say that you have said it many times when you were president of the United States, that no president is ever going to desert Israel, right?
Correct. I put it more bluntly. I said, as I told congressional leaders during the 1973 Yom Kippur War, no American president will let Israel go down the tube.
All right.
Democrat or Republican, it's not an issue.
That is stated fairly categorically, and yet in your book you make it clear at the same time that Israel really is not of any enormous strategic value to the United States anymore.
That's correct.
So why then would the United States continue to burden itself with huge loans, in some cases outright grants, to the Israelis, jeopardize possibly young American fighting men, when there is no strategic value involved, or little strategic
Because the
value?
United States is concerned by more than strategic values. That's maybe a weakness, but it's the way we are. And there are moral issues involved here. We don't have an alliance with Israel, as you know. They're not an ally of the United States in the technical sense. But we have a bond to Israel that's much stronger. It's a moral commitment. A moral commitment because of what happened during the Holocaust, and a moral commitment because it is a democracy, the only democracy in that area. And under the circumstances, that is why American presidents and the American people in the future will support all out the survival of Israel if it's attacked.
You've always been a very tough, pragmatic man. And I just wonder if you were the president of Israel and you heard Richard Nixon talking that way, or for that matter, heard any sitting American president talk that way, and say, but there's really no strategic value anymore, how much faith would you place in that kind of a moral commitment if push really came to shove?
If I were the president of Israel, I put a great deal of faith in it because of the track record of the United States, and also because he would know that that is the way the American people are. There is no doubt whatever of our commitment to Israel.
Wow. So, wouldn't desert Israel, an American president, wouldn't let them go down the tube. And there is a great truth to that. Although some presidents have played kind of both sides, there's no doubt about it, and didn't want maybe Israel to go down the tube, but kind of want to equal the playing field, if you will. He says that's maybe a weakness of theirs. Well, is it? Morality is not a weakness. That's a strength. He says the bond is stronger than strategic alliance based on that Israel's a democracy, and because of the Holocaust, there is something deeper that runs. I think that's pretty impressive. I must say, I want to add to that morality is only when freedom of choice is only when it comes to a moral issue between right and wrong. Then we have freedom of choice, true freedom of choice. And if it's based on strategic value, then it's not really a moral choice. Then it's about what's good for me. And if it's good for me, it's got nothing to do with morality. It's just what's beneficial for me or for my country, which is fine. But that's not a moral choice. A moral choice is doing what's right because it's right, because that's what God wants from us, to do the right and godly thing. So, because of the Holocaust, and Israel's a democracy and actually a good state on top of it, good people, That's a moral choice to make. And Richard Nixon is exercising that, um, which is beautiful. How many people think that way today, though? I question that. I think to some degree, yes. Today, Israel is much more a strategic value than it was 50 years ago. But I think the commitment is beyond strategic, which is then just what is beneficial for your nation, but moral prerogative. In the end, the bottom line of everything should be the moral right from wrong, and not just what's good for me. Politics is very much what's good for politics, not what is right in the eyes of God. And since in the Money of America it says, "In God we trust," let's trust that they will make the moral choice that is appropriate at all times. And that will be, of course, to be supporting Israel.